Outgoing Senator Joe Manchin slammed the Democratic Party as toxic and said the country is not going left as he winds down his tenure in the Senate. The D brand has been so maligned from the standpoint of it's toxic. Manchin said in an interview with CNN's Manu Raja that aired Sunday. Manchin, who is leaving Congress after nearly 15 years, also left the Democratic Party earlier this year. The centrist Democrat declared he was leaving the party and registered as an independent. He told Raju that he no longer considers himself a Democrat in the form of what the Democratic Party has turned itself into. They have basically expanded upon thinking, well, we want to protect you there, but we're going to tell you how you should live your life from that far on, he said. Manchin criticized the party's progressive members and argued they are out of touch with Americans. The country is not going left, he said. As Democrats recover from their brutal election losses, some are pointing fingers at what went wrong and how their messaging could resonate with voters more. Many argued that the party became out of touch with the reality of what Americans want, and Republicans were able to speak to the desires of voters. It's amazing to watch someone like Manchin talk about some people being out of touch. Because let's not forget, he was elected in 2012 by a really comfortable margin. His margin decreased heavily in 2018 after he voted for Kavanaugh's confirmation. And ever since then, there's been more and more disliking of him from left wing people. I think it's so funny because like I always when I see the why I left the left types of comments that these various I don't want to call them turncoats. Let's say people who have shifted parties, people who have shifted affiliations. When they do these left to left type of comments, you never really see policy discussions. Like when I went in here, I go, okay, he's gonna probably talk about Build Back Better costs too much or the government spending or some other thing that we could at least say is like a specific issue that could be addressed. He says they have basically expanded upon thinking, well, we want to protect you there, but we're going to tell you how you should live your life from that far on. What the hell does that even mean? Like we want to protect you there, but we're going to tell you how you should live your life from then on. Like I'm very confused as to what he's talking about. I hope he's not trying to claim this is a conversation about civil liberties, because we've seen time and time where Republicans and right wingers push back on a lot of those. I mean, let's not forget, you still have Republicans who believe if someone is gay, they shouldn't be able to get married. You have Republicans who are pushing and there are some, Democrats too, to be fair, pushing for students on college campuses who protest Israel's genocide to either be removed from the school, deported from the country if they're from somewhere else. It like how do you say this about the left or Democrats or whatever, but then none of this goes to Republicans at all ever? Nothing. Like I said, he will go down as a senator who did matter because he played, I think, the biggest role of any Democrat in destroying a lot of Biden's legislative agenda. But I don't think he'll be remembered as a good or effective politician. His entire thing over the last few years has been moderation for moderation's sake, and it's not even good moderation. Like, hey, we need to get together from both sides to work on ending the war on drugs and decriminalization and raising some wages and ending these different foreign conflicts. You don't see any of that at a Manchin. He's a guy who has no philosophy other than opposing whatever his party wants and trying to cater to Republicans in some futile attempt to get the obstructionist party that has been this way ever since 2009, ever since McConnell was Senate Majority Leader with Obama as president. He's been trying to appeal to them. That's his main coalition of people, or the main ones he tries to reason with, and it's all been for nothing. Like they don't want him in their party. They consider him too left wing, which is hilarious. He has nowhere to go, and all I can say is I'm glad that we've hopefully seen the last of him as an elected official. I'm sure you can probably get some little crappy job on CNN as a commentator where you can sit there and scold the Democrats every time they want to do something to help people. But he is just like he is the toxicity that he's talking about, because it is a person who stands for nothing, uh, criticizing those that do, and it's just sad. Like what a waste of a Senate seat, you know.